Hello, folks, and welcome to the Friend or Foe Lounge. I am your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster, Shargan, and I've got joining me on the very special Luna semifinal lounge today. We've got Prolupul and Spierce from HBK, and we've got Sivolock joining us from YUBI, kind of the raid bosses, as I've called you for the course of this league, I would say. Don't you think, Sivolock?
Yes, of course.
So, you know, because I've had you on a couple of times, Sivolock. I'm going to kind of hop this over to Spierce and Prolupul first. Just kind of want to give, can you guys give me your opinions on YUBI picking Blue Bayou Zoo for the first, match setup, essentially? They're kind of like, instead of taking BBZ on, they're taking on TAS instead.
I mean, obviously a smart decision.
Yeah.
Like, BBZ would definitely be a harder matchup. Like, we're gonna be playing from 7:30 to like 12. I think it's gonna be a 5-game series or something.
Yeah. It's gonna be a rough one. We're gonna have to pull out probably all our pocket picks, every secret we kind of have, to try to just inch out every advantage we can. Because through the head-on-head we're 1-1, so it's quite difficult, whereas against TAS, I think we're 2-0 against them, so they probably just want us to also feel uncomfortable in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and Sivolock, how do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, it is a Monday, and gotta work my day job. I teach 3rd grade the next morning, so hopefully it'll be a fast 3-0 and can send Jeff to bed early.
Oh, send Jeff to bed early. Are you saying that JeffGod's going to be back?
I mean, that's what we're hoping for. We'll see how he feels. Lock in, and if he's up for it, he's in. So it's kind of up to him to decide at this point.
Okay. Hey, that's exciting for me to hear. I don't know, HBK, how does that kind of make you feel for those potential grand finals playoffs, knowing that JeffGod might be coming back?
That would make the finals even better. I would like for him to be playing full roster versus full roster. That'd be nice.
Honestly, that's kind of the thing, is I think that both y'all's teams, I've said it before, that I think that the ones who are going to bring YUBI down, TAS are going to put up one hell of a fight. But I don't know if they're going to make it. But I do believe that HBK is probably the team that has the biggest kind of bat to swing against you that might actually hit. So just kind of let's talk about some of the previous games that y'all have had. I know that you have faced off against YUBI before, and you guys were able to take a game off of them earlier in the season. Can you kind of give me your impressions of that game?
That was the game where we kind of started actually using more of our comfort picks. Because I think in the beginning of the split, we really just tried to get a grasp of what we want to play, what new picks that would mesh well together, and then we just picked those up, and then also added our default character champs that Jida kind of spoiled, saying his super hidden pocket pick of Heimerdinger. Mm-hmm. So now I feels like it's a permaban every time we go into games now, so it's quite interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely a really cool pocket pick. We were surprised by it, and I think YUBI still had good chances coming out of the draft. I don't think we had a bad draft at all, but we didn't really understand what our draft was supposed to do because we hadn't thought a lot about that pick. So I think we executed poorly around it.
You mean you hadn't thought about the Heimerdinger pick?
Oh yeah, the Heimerdinger pick, because it actually changed the composition pretty significantly. I know Utility Monsters talked about this exact game before, but YUBI likes to be the engage beatdown team. We draft for it, and we're good at making that happen. And when the Heimerdinger is locked in, we have to stop doing that. If we all run through Heimerdinger turrets, try and kill Vayne, we'll lose. And not everyone got the memo, and sometimes, Brian wanted blood, and we all followed him through the jungle to go kill Vayne. All died to the Heimerdinger turret, so it was cool, and I think it was a good way to exploit tendencies that YUBI has.
Also, the game, we also used a lot of counter picks. We knew you guys were comfortable in the Nocturne and Galio, so we try to just take that away from you guys. Stuff that. Yeah. Small stuff like that to try to Yes.
Dr. Gallia is also just really good. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend drafting Dr. Gallia if you play those champions.
This game was like really close. Like any fight could have like turned out wrong, to be honest, for us.
Yeah, I think it was like a fight, like broke out, and then like near like the Baron pit, or like we were kind of getting caught out, but we also felt like it was winnable, and then it just like little small snowball things kind of almost tipped to your team's favor.
Yeah.
It was quite. Oh, the Baron play. I think I remember.
Yeah. This was our
this-
last like Hail Mary attempt, and we actually pull it off, and then we immediately counter throw it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we get the miracle steal from Zach. This is a fight that YUBI spent a lot of time talking about. So I'm coming in here on the flank, and I force 3 people to come off and hit me. And at the time, I felt like I misplayed, but after the fact, Utility Monster specifically was calling that it was good because it allowed us to win on the other side. But I felt really bad coming out of that fight. But we do secure Baron, and we are finally in position to try and challenge with our mid-game power spike. But we only have 1 chance, and then we blow it, overcommitting in bomb jungle.
This right before Zach is about to jump in the pit, I was like a bit scared to walk up because look at I TP'd right there. I can cancel his jump right here, and he won't be able to get that smite off. But
Yeah.
I was just stepping too far back.
I think one thing you can't do against YUBI is hesitate.
Yeah.
We'll take advantage.
Yeah, we tried to do like a really sneaky Baron, and I thought our Vayne had Kraken. I think she had Kraken there. The Baron's dead, like before you guys even like respond. So like it's just like a bad part in like just recognizing our damage and like who really needs to be there earlier and stuff like that. Because we did have
very
double
fast
TP.
with Heimerdinger too. Heimerdinger is really fast Baron.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
we didn't think you could.
Sure.
Yeah, we had double TP, so we thought we could counter it a bit better too. It's just like a small macro decisions we didn't optimally decide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun game though.
It
That was a good one.
Yeah, like
I think this was actually one of the most enjoyable games that UB played.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like it's sad when we have nothing to VOD review, right? Like if you just keep winning, and it's like, well, let's do it again next week, guys.
That
But
is.
we actually get so much better off of losses, so I'm excited to like get games in where people actually challenge us, push us around a little bit,
It's that UB
make us play for the miracle Baron steal instead of running Rift Hero down 2 towers at 19 minutes. So
Yeah, which
this is a lot more fun.
Which can happen. I feel like so obviously you guys took a lot from this and kind of have like your plans in the future. I have to ask you guys then, just kind of like maybe don't have to give away any strats like during any of these questions. It's totally fine.
Oh, yeah,
If it's a strat thing, you don't have to say it. But it's kind of like, so are you planning on letting them take the Heimerdinger again as kind of like a comfort thing? Just like, come on, just try it. We're ready for you this time.
Oh yeah, you guys play it. I think it's a cool pick. It's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you guys don't think you guys are gonna ban it first rotation usually, or no?
Yeah, it's good matchups in the freelancers champion pool.
Oh,
It's pretty hard
okay.
for us to answer. So I think it's pretty safe blind, especially since you guys have it as a flex pick. So I think you should probably just be one at every game.
But would you guys ban it? Would you guys ban it?
I mean, there's probably too many other powerful champions to ban. I don't think we have enough room for that one. So,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Good.
it's just how it is.
Now the question is he playing a mind game with you and actually being like, oh yeah, well, no, we've totally got a plan for it. It's not a problem at all. Or is he telling the truth? That's the thing about UB.
They're trying to 5 at us too much. It's scary.
I mean, UB is a firm believer in truth in all things.
Right. Okay.
Very,
I think that's kind of like how you guys are planning your matchup, but you both got a hurdle you got to jump over before you can actually even get there. You have got so you've got to face off against Team Asorth, and then HBK you've got to face off against BBZ. So my question for you guys now is, which one do you want to talk about first?
I think we talk about the UB first.
Yeah.
All right.
The BBZ
I like
game?
talking about
Yeah,
myself,
let's
the
talk
TAS
about
game?
the sooner game.
I'm always down for that.
Okay. You want to talk about the TAS set of games first, going against Team Asorth?
Yeah. What are you guys most
yeah,
scared
yeah.
of? What are you guys most scared of, like going into like their teams? Because I think us personally, I think we know like their bot lane's quite explosive, so it feels like
Guo's good.
every time we see him like just randomly getting so many kills, and he's like on the cusp of actually carrying so many games.
Yeah, I will say, me crap on him in lane. Every time we match up, it's easy, but I am a very poor lane record against Guo, so Guo probably the better player. That was a joke, by the way. My AD carry is terrible. Please don't ever make me play AD carry ever again. If people don't recall, we had Simone holding it down in mid lane for us, and I was subbing AD. This was I believe our first or second. Was this our second match with Jeff absent?
Mm-hmm. I believe it was.
Yeah. I think it was the second game of the first week of Jeff's abrupt intermission.
That 2007 Ford Fusion ganking him from the jungle, out of vision.
Yeah. And for some context, this is also really funny because Brian and I actually used to play bottom lane together. I was in mid lane, then I switched to AD to play with Brian, and then I switched back to mid literally at the start of season 3. Originally, we had Jeff mid and me AD carry.
Oh.
And then Jeff and I were like, utility monster, you can't do this. You got to switch us. It's a way better. And at the time, Utility Monster was like, well, you guys will have to like relearn your roles. It's kind of like, but both Jeff and I had played those opposite roles. And more importantly, Jeff, I think, is much stronger synergy with Brian, especially in fives where like team fighting is a big problem for me on AD carry. I get overloaded, can't tell what's happening, and I just run in and die. So that's kind of the context, but even longer ago too, it was when Brian and I were playing bottom lane, we were actually playing with half the Rex roster, and Brian and I used to be the bottom lane for Rex.
Interesting.
That was I think 2 years ago now. So that's kind of part of how we all know each other.
Because that's you guys like help each other out with like
so we're like long standing friends. Why am I here?
Yeah, and honestly, going up against Guo and Ahn Bo, like that is a team that is going to be pressuring you just in general.
Yeah.
Like they like to engage, they like to fight. We always talk about TAS being the scrappy team. And it's kind of one of those things where like this game ended up being about 50 minutes long. Like this is not a short game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So even though it was partially due to the fact that you didn't have JeffGod and you were in ADC, I do think that it does show a little bit of testament to the power that is in the TAS champion pool roster, like whatever you want to call it. And so I don't think that they're a team you really underestimate. So what kind of plan does YUBI have in place in order to go up against these guys? Like, are you just going to shut down those team fights, or are you going to kind of just force them into fights they don't necessarily want to be taking?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really thought that deeply. I think for us, our biggest enemy is ourselves. And for TAS, their biggest enemy is also themselves. I think TAS, like their ceiling is so high. They're a really explosive team and they have so much potential. But also sometimes just like, what are they doing? Like somebody was like, let's do this. And everyone else is like, oh yeah, let's go. Which is kind of how YUBI plays. So like, I respect it, but also that tends to look either really good or really bad when everyone just dog piles in on like the play that somebody sees. So like, I think that level of trust can be your biggest strength or your biggest downfall. Like if everyone's on it and like you all trust each other to make that play, then you go for it and it's great. And if someone's like their decision making is a little off, but everyone trusts them, then it looks really bad. So I think for YUBI, we're just gonna try to be as rested and focused as we can. Don't over practice, don't burn out, and then we'll trust in the longer series to show our consistency over TAS.
Right. So I gotta ask you then, what do you think of Church of Alfonso and their game against Team Asorth? This particular one is the one where TAS was able to pull out the second win. So they'd already pulled off one game, and so they were able to make it to a best of 5 series, and basically had to they were fighting for that third game, weren't quite able to pull it out. So just kind of what was your overall impression of these games?
It was a messy series, and it actually really surprised YUBI because we expected this to be a pretty easy COF win. This was like a really surprising outcome because UB expected this to be an easy COF series win. But TAS made it look really competitive, and they fought tooth and nail and made it look really close. And I'm excited to play against TAS for that reason, because I think before this match, I was, yeah, TAS is whatever. They're fine. But I think this is the game that really showed to me that they're here to win. They're here to fight, and they're really willing to put out all the stops in a longer series.
Yep. No, I think it's pretty dope. So, hopping right over to Spierce, how about you up next?
I wasn't like watching like all the games, but I was like paying attention to like the scoreline, and it actually surprised me because I was like expecting a 3-0 for COF. So
might be something you want to go back and watch then, because you never know. They might be the ones they may pull out the crazy victory against YUBI.
Yeah, I think there's something like you can't really...
points on this one.
Yeah, something
if
you
I
can't
recall
really like
correctly. Which one did I bet on?
I like their draft, like for the way they play. Their drafts like just like suits them so well. It's just like four all in, just jump Fiesta, whatever you can. Like the Lulu just enables all the other four to just like keep going in, and then I think, but then like COF has a lot of peel, but then I guess like TAS just got really strong, and then they really couldn't like do anything because it is a Malphite that can just like slow your attack speed right when he's on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was a really good read. So definitely agree. Like a lot of teams do this. I think BBZ from last season for season 3 sometimes end up doing this, where they drafted good drafts and they had good players, but their drafts and their players didn't necessarily match. And when that happens, it's a lot harder to execute your win condition conceptually, because like not everyone agrees or understands what you're trying to do. But TAS really they're like, hey, we want to fight to the death. And they draft characters that are really good at it. And like, especially huge props to Ahn Bo this game, because like Ahn Bo was just indestructible. I don't know what he was doing, but he had like an anti-taunt or something. I watched him just walk through people as Lulu. Nobody hit him. It's like, guys, you have to kill the enchanter first. I know Red Cane is very angry looking and he's damaging you, but as long as Lulu exists on the enemy team, she's basically reversing all your AD carry's damage with shielding. So your AD carry just doesn't exist as long as Lulu is alive. Have to kill enchanters first. Just PSA, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
And enchanters are really strong right now.
Yeah. There's a kind of slow creep up because like every tank just kept getting nerfed. It was like not huge nerfs, but just like little slap on the wrist every patch. And now enchanters are pretty well positioned, especially at our level of play. In pro play, it's harder because sometimes you need an engaged tank, and if you're picking these like flex bruiser picks on solo lanes, then you can't squeeze in a tank anywhere other than support. But at our level of play, if we're playing tank top laners, we have tank junglers with engage, then by all means, throw in an enchanter support. You don't even have to adapt or draft that much.
Enchanters just help out lane so much in bot lane. Like, I know like the champs I usually play are really like hella tanky, like the Galio. But like, now that like enchanters are going up, I think like Lulu, like Yumi, Nami, like those champions are just like overall sustain better than you and poke you out so much hard. Quite
this is the play I was talking about though with Ahn Bo, like actually just indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does he have stealth or something? Like he just doesn't get hit.
Yeah. Let's see. Where is Ahn Bo is like coming up right now.
LTY, insane this game. Hits a great hook. Yeah. And Ahn Bo just walks in.
Kind of walks away.
Walks out. And meanwhile, B-Try is he's just standing inside COF.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this fight is also a little bit on COF's fault because like their target acquisition
could have killed Ahn Bo. Like if they all commit to killing Ahn Bo right now, I think this fight's a lot better.
Because it's like, yeah, you have the damage dealers that you're worrying about like as they're hitting you, but at the same time, it's like you get rid of the thing that's keeping the damage dealers alive.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like B-Try would have
are like reverse AD carries. Instead of like damage per second, they like do damage mitigated per second, so they have to die first.
Yep. It's like an extra cloth armor or something like that.
Yeah.
Fight.
I mean, not even cloth. It's like somebody on your team just has Warmogs that runs in combat. That's what Lulu is, right? If you guys are all about healing reduction, like you know what stops healing the best? Killing the person who's shielding and healing.
Exactly. All right. Yeah. So it's Team Asorth, definitely a team you don't want to underestimate, like at all. Like just straight up. And that honestly, like that draft was what was kind of like a little confusing because I feel like this draft right here is much more Team Asorth's like standard with the Thresh, Aiza, Cassiopeia, Aatrox. Like that's just an all-in team that just goes in and fights. It doesn't matter what's happening, they're fighting. The Lulu pick, the fact that it was used so effectively, just it was kind of like, oh, I forgot Ahn Bo could do that.
I like what COF
Yeah,
did
it was
here.
such a good adaptation too, because they're recognizing that COF is also a team that likes to scrap and fight. And then when that's the case, you don't need another engaged champion or team. Like, they're gonna come fight you.
No.
So if you spec into like the peeling and kiting, then you get the advantage, which I think is why we saw Janna have success on that side for COF, right?
Right. So I guess the
Both
question
of you want
is,
to fight, disengage becomes really good.
Yeah, I guess the final question is, how do you think these games are gonna go? Like, is it gonna be? Are they gonna be able to take a game off of YUBI? Kind of. What are y'all's predictions on that?
I
I think they can do one.
might be able to get a single game off.
Yeah, like minimum. I think I believe in TAS that they can like they don't want to end a series just like 3-0. They want to scrape that win off of YUBI.
Yeah, I think they definitely have it in them. I think especially if they're on a good day. So I'm hoping for the 3-0, of course, but
Yeah.
I'm not putting all my channel points on it yet, so to speak.
See, I think it's gonna be a 3-2 series, and each game is gonna be about 50 minutes long.
That is a bold prediction.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. I think that TAS is going to drag it out as best they can, and they're going to keep fighting for every single inch, and YUBI's not going to be able to take anything
The problem
easy.
is that if it's 3-2, it's going to be 3-2 TAS.
It's going to be 3-2 TAS, you think?
Because YUBI's too old, we're going to get sleepy. Brian's going to want his nap. Jeff has to go to bed on East Coast. I wake up at 5:30 to go to work, and by the time it gets to game 5, we're just all half asleep. We won't be able to make
so
it.
there you go, TAS. That's your strategy. Your strategy is the long con. You
Just
drag
grind
it
us
out as
over the
best
long
you
games.
can.
Yeah, you have to use that big Zoomer energy to crush our millennial hopes.
Yep.
Make the first game super long, hour long. Make draft
exactly.
super long.
Yeah.
Make the second game even longer.
Just pick like 5 wave clear mages. You don't even have to win the first game. Just make it take forever.
See, and the thing that I hate the most is I actually won't be available for the semifinals for Luke or the grand final for either side. I'm actually gonna be out of town. So I won't be able to cast any of this. I'm gonna have to be watching it like either on the VODs or all that. So y'all better not be I'm gonna have to like avoid the Discord to avoid spoilers.
Spoiler free. All right.
It's gonna be so hard.
I'll have to leave the Discord for the week.
I might. Like I'm seriously thinking about it. It's like maybe I should just kind of dip for a little bit.
I think Jeff will pull out too many memes.
Yeah.
We can make a spoiler-free document. Make a little Excel spreadsheet with the links.
With the links in it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, that would be exactly how they do it, like with the actual league VODs, where it's like it says game 5, but it doesn't actually link to anything.
Yeah, it's just a dead hyperlink.
That, or I get rickrolled by clicking on it.
Oh yeah, perfect.
All right. Okay, so that's Team TAS. That's Team Asorth. Okay, so like a game that they're gonna put up a hell of a fight. I don't think that they're gonna be able to beat YUBI. I think YUBI's gonna have to get taken down by H Block. But hopping now over to BBZ and these guys right here. The Blue Bayou Zoo is a team they are just one hell of a team. They took down Serenity Senate in 3 games. So I gotta ask HBK, you guys are up first on this one. What are you guys thinking of?
I think it was 4 games.
Yep.
They didn't post the 4th game.
Yeah, they did.
Because this is the Darius game.
Yeah, that's right. The Darius game.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Big tanky Darius. Go boom.
Yeah, big Darius dunking on them boys.
Yeah.
Before we start, I do want to call out that this is, I believe, this series marks BBZ's first iteration with this roster allocation, correct?
It is.
They did not play this in the regular season. So Red back in AD, Orphic now in mid instead of top, and then what did they do?
So they put Orphic in
Tef
mid.
went from mid to support?
Yes.
I think that was always their support, no?
No, Tef was always support.
Was I
Wait,
thought
where
Orphic
is
was
Orphic?
support. Orphic was support.
Because Red was mid. Who was AD?
AD.
Was it Tef? Was Tef AD?
Tef was AD.
Tef and Orphic.
It was Tef, Orphic,
Yeah,
bot
yeah, that's
lane.
what it was. Okay, yeah, so Tef.
I blanked on that for a second there. I was
Yeah,
like, wait, hold
okay.
on.
So Tef went from AD to support. Orphic went from support to mid, and Red went from mid to AD. So it's like
it's
musical
a three-man
chairs.
swap.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a 3-man
And
swap,
like, you
but
know,
only
honestly,
2 lane
I was surprised when they announced that, like, yeah, playoffs, we're just gonna reorg our entire roster. But you know, they made it work, and I honestly like Red's AD better. I'm sorry, Red. But
You
the
know,
ball plays
I
is where
don't
you
think
belong.
you're wrong at all. I kind of feel like he was mid because they felt like that's what they had to do more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, a part of it, I mean, I'm not sure how much of this was a joke, but I remember Red saying, like, oh man, I'm gonna roll swap mid so I can play Lucian mid. And then they immediately reworked Lucian to be better bot lane. So I know that was kind of a tilter for Red. So now you can finally get his Lucian gains in. Maybe some Lucian Nami,
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Leak some scrim.
as seen in pro play.
We worked against the Lucian Nami.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was quite fun. It was a hoot.
I do
So-
think their lineup now is actually better
Yeah.
than it was
Yeah,
before.
I agree.
Yeah. Feel like they do more. Well, maybe not in lane, but like outside of lane, they try to impact the map more.
And I think Orphic is a better mid laner than Red, to be honest.
Orphic's good. Like, I remember last season, Orphic absolutely clapped Freelancer in a couple games. Because I think there was it was one of our, wasn't our losers bracket? No. It was, what was it? We played against Spear. And I think they had a sub top laner the first game because Orphic couldn't be there for game 1. And then game 2, he just showed up and like absolutely buried that Freelancer in game 2. Like it was like 0-3 or something. And Brian's like, what is going on? Like, please stop dying.
Let's see. Gotta go deep into the VODs here. See if we've got it.
Yeah,
Actually,
go
I don't
look
know
this
if we
up.
have it on here.
I think it's the other channel.
It
Yeah,
might be. Yeah, I think I'd have to go look at the for it there.
So FoF bots, FoF.
Esports.
Yeah, it's
Esports,
the
yeah.
actual esports page. Here.
Yeah.
You have all the old mythic games in there too.
Yeah.
It was actually fun. When we started the series, we had to do like a bit of scouting. Like we had to go back and see a few of the other teams' games to really understand what they play. But yeah, it's great that they have these YouTube vids.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, I think I found it. Yeah, it's Heroic Playoffs, Losers R1, Spear versus UB Game 2. I can link you.
Yes, please. They're right over here.
I
I
think
think
it's
I've got
in,
it. The INT right there.
it's in one of the playlists, so.
That up.
But yeah, I think especially between mid and top, and nowadays, like, you can play half the top laners in mid. You just walk mid lane instead.
Mm-hmm.
You fight to the death the first grab. It's great.
Look at those graphics, man. Just
Yeah,
so
it's,
old, so
Very
jank.
nostalgic. Oh yeah, that's right. Because we spent a lot of time theory crafting Wukong versus Set for this beta, and it was a really common matchup in FoF. And more notably, Freelancer at the time did not play Set, so we were kind of handshaking the Wukong versus Set matchup.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's you guys were down here running that. Brian's saying on Maokai duty once again.
yeah.
What's
Yeah.
what's the priority of what's that chip? Corki. I see so many Corkis in Luna and
Yeah, I don't know either, because I think I was the only Corki player in Season 3, Heroic.
Mm-hmm.
It was just me. So I don't know if if it was a copycat thing or like all the Corki players just joined FoF.
I think it's more of a situation. So Corki is one of those champions I feel like not a lot of people pick up because they don't like the way he looks. Like I feel like
he's so cute.
Well, I know I don't like
after.
playing him because of that. It's like I feel like his kid. I also feel like his kid is a little boring to play. Like it's just I don't really enjoy it particularly for me. It's
You don't
that
like
sort of
unloading your hot package all over their team.
Nah, man. It's like it's too how do you describe it? Too one and done. Like I like taking my time and like working at it and just making sure that you just drag it out. So that's more of my style. Like you just got to make sure everyone has fun.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Corki has looked really good in this league. I think partly because in pro play, people abuse Corki's weak early game, but I don't think we're quite good enough to abuse Corki early at this level of play. So he gets to his thread and power spike like pretty much every game. And also just I don't know how to say this other than people just stand on the package. Like, guys, Corki package does more damage than Rumble Ultimate. Like, you can look it up. It is an insane ratio. Just please don't stand on Corki package. It is his ultimate. It comes every 4 minutes. Thank you.
It does so much.
It's ridiculous how much damage that package does. Like, it's one of those. Yeah. And I think the thing is it's not a flashy ability. It's like it's just on the ground.
It's very
burning
visually
your health
deceiving.
Yeah. So it's like it makes you don't realize what's happening until it's too late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is where Freelancer starts getting taken down.
Corki.
This is when I played arcade Corki instead of UFO Corki. Or not UFO, there's the new astronaut Corki. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lushy jumps onto the package.
There's
and
that.
then just straight dies. Yeah, I think he just dies.
Yeah, and then utility monster right there getting taken out.
That are.
But see, the thing is, like, your Corki package, its distance is insane because if you get over terrain, yeah, especially if you are able to get over terrain, you can just extend it longer than it should be going, which is what I think you did here.
Yeah, if Corki has package, it's just like fights are really hard. I highly recommend just never fighting us when YUBI shows up to Dragon with the package. You should just give it up.
Right. And I do want to say is I kind of like your comp here where your kind of whole idea is lock people in place and just burn their health bars away. Because you've got the Morgana Q with the pool, you've got the Corki package, you've got Skarner who can drag people into the location that he wants them to be in to just burn away. Like the whole, it's very passive damage bait.
Yeah, I think whenever we see Corki have package, we try to engage on the Corki, so he has to try to use it defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either you force it out or you time out package.
Yeah.
It's like a lot harder though.
I was gonna say, what is the timer on it? It like never seems to go away.
It is 1 minute from picking it up.
Really? Wow, y'all use it pretty regularly. Huh? For some reason,
It's
I was gonna say that doesn't sound right. From picking it up.
Yeah, no. It's 1 minute from picking it up.
Okay. Either way, like it seems like he's always got package. Like just because I know that it's one of those things that you can stockpile, but it just always feels like he's doing package.
Oh, it spawns It spawns every 4.
Right, it spawns every 4, and then as soon as you pick it up, it's there for a minute. So I guess it's just
the cooldown does not start until you use it. So what that means is you can basically have it for every dragon, should you choose to do so.
Hey, there's Orphic.
There it is, Orphic taking down Freelancer in the
Orphic going crazy.
Dude, that was just
Orphic's good. He's really good at this game.
Yeah, you really like, and it's kind of funny. Like you put him on a support, and I think you're actually kind of unlocking him in other ways because he's now got freedom to look around the map, help you kind of with your macro. Like that's the thing supports are able to do. Like they're not having to focus as much on their lane every single second.
Yeah, wait, what's your top laner that YUBI likes using most? Or is it just like whoever's just available, they try to play?
In terms of champions?
Players.
It's Freelancer is pretty much the regular.
Oh yeah, we run Freelancer and
pretty much everything.
Top lane.
Okay, so again, we're talking about YUBI. We should really jump back to BBZ because I think BBZ is the team that we should be discussing because we were talking about Red and Tef and Orphic and got off on a little tangent there.
Red's bottom lane, Orphic's mid. I honestly think this roster is stronger. It's just the question is, are they practiced in these roles? You know.
They scrimmed us with this role, like this lineup.
Leaking scrims, careful.
It's okay. It's our scrims too. It's just like the roster, like they pulled it out, so we kind of had an idea before their game with Serenity that they would probably pull it out too. And it seems like from the interviews, this is what they're gonna stick with. But I feel like their focal point still isn't really bot lane, because when we play against them, it seems like they're just putting every like egg into Jaffe's basket, like jungle ganks, support roams, everything just for Jaffe.
That makes sense because, I mean, that may just be what they're defaulting to initially because that's how they played in Season 3. Because that's when they had BBZ Lights in mid. God bless him. I don't want to lane against him ever again because he's way better than me. So, when they had a really strong top side last season, and I think Dax is used to playing that way.
I see.
Or maybe just Dax just hates Red. I don't know.
Every time Red isn't.
Maybe Red did something to Dax a long time ago, and Dax is like, I will never gank your lane ever again. No, just you do you. You have a partner in your lane that can help you.
I didn't like Serenity's comp here. It's really weird.
Their comp was a little interesting during these games. Fair.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I get what they're going. Like, they have Amumu magic reduction, or that's what is called MR Shred. And they have double AP to capitalize on that, and they have a frontline, I guess.
They have like 3 front lines and 2 like one mage and 1 assassin mage.
Mm-hmm.
So just like
I think it's a
like it's like really more of like a pick comp, but I feel like it's really hard to pick off BBZ with like their Nami speed up. You have like Jaffe just giga tank with the W, and then like the Lilia throwing her E out. It's like it's too much scouting from their ability.
I think it's an okay comp, but it's one that you have to in champion select say we have to win the early game because you can't actually do objectives without an AD carry layer. It just takes forever. So you have to smash them and then just like blow the game open. And unfortunately, when they're just even, then I think they're already behind.
See, I actually really like this draft because whenever you look at Serenity's first 3 picks, you really don't necessarily know what they're going for yet.
I like their first 3.
Yeah, their first 3 I think are great.
They just fumbled the last 2 of how to like really like organize it, like make it a whole.
Because I think once you see what BBZ is drafted here with the Lucian, Nami, and the Aurelia, you've got to be like, okay, maybe we don't want to go for this assassin picky comp that we've got because that's going to just be really hard to catch because you got the damage reduction like we were saying before. So like with their current draft right here, I don't know. Where do you think you guys would have gone? I almost feel like they maybe wanted to pick up the Xin Zhao, like instead of banning it.
So the move can go jungle or support, and only Volibear can go jungle and top. Syndrome, mid, AD. So like a lot of flexible, but it's like who are the players comfortable playing? There's more of like the forces.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where I would have gone with their drafts personally.
I think a Volibear is a better pick into Irelia than Tahm Kench because I feel like Tahm Kench is like more of like I'm just chilling lane. Like the Irelia has to like mess up really hard. Like I don't think Tahm Kench really wants to fight against the Irelia.
Yeah,
I think Tahm Kench wins early, right?
Yeah, early, but then like let's say the Irelia doesn't farm, just waits for Bork and then just like then starts like whacking on top of the Tahm Kench.
That's sure.
But then like let's say Volibear can just like start biting level 2, level 3. And like probably could win it because of his like passive is like I think is way stronger than Aurelia's.
You know, I think a Jinx pickup here might not have been a bad idea.
Yeah.
Instead of level.
Yeah, because you have to make PO. Like you have a lot of tanks. You have Zinja E to like just be around you. And then I think.
Yeah.
How can the Aurelia really jump on you?
Exactly.
I wonder if, I mean, it might be a champion pool thing, but if Tiki plays a physical damage mid laner, that's really good here. because you don't really want to send Syndra mid with the possibility of Aurelia being mid lane.
True.
So then you get Syndra ball with
really
you combo the Magic Shred, and then you get a physical sustained damage source in mid. I don't know what that would be, but like it could be a bruiser, it could be an AD carry. And then the Serenity comp is really good.
Yeah, you could go Akshan in the mid lane.
Yeah, right. Like if DE played Akshan, that'd be perfect. Tristana mid.
Yeah. If you wanted to stick
Something
with
like
the big beefy front line, you could throw in a Gnar mid. Not something you regularly see, but
That's a big one. Yeah.
it's a thing. I mean, it's something you could definitely try, and it's like a top laner versus a top laner matchup at that point too. So if you're
Can't be too bad.
Yeah, theoretically they could have had P Sweezy rotate mid, what mid, which is something I don't think we see a lot of, and I know it's because it's like it's an uncomfortable thing to do, to take a laner and throw them into a new lane right as the match is starting. But you can certainly do that because we're not locking lanes, we're locking like players. Like your roster is what gets locked whenever your lock-ins. I'm kind of surprised we've only seen it happen like maybe once or twice where a laner just goes to a totally different.
Yeah. I think that's what we're trying to do. Secret pick. We try to do that, but we don't get the opportunity to do that often.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how BBZ like attempts to like ban us out. Maybe we would have to pull out some more picks, but like
Just throwing that out there, I guess.
yeah.
Okay.
Just,
That'll be something to look out for sure. Is there any like a particular kind of thing HBK is looking for versus BBZ, like that you like are expecting them to do that you're kind of hoping to counter?
I don't know. I think we would want the Yuumi. We would either take the Yuumi away from. I think Yuumi. It seemed like they really liked Yuumi this series. We either would want to ban the Yuumi or just pick the Yuumi if given the chance.
I think Yumi's also just in that position anyway.
Yeah, it's just like so strong. Like makes. I think like the way they play, especially enables that because like they're just like like let bot lane be on an island and then like let the Yuumi just sit on top side, and then it's like it's either 4v3 or if it's like it's 4v4, but like there's one character that just seems super buffed with the Yuumi.
Yeah. I think this is also just the top jungle meta is really good for Yuumi, if that makes sense. Because like we always know that enchanters and AD carries are good, but like enchanters and bruisers are really good too, because like enchanters are good with any class of champion that relies on just stat checking someone, because you just get effectively like free gold, right? That you get to funnel into one person. So, you know,
I think like I heard somewhere maybe LS is like heals on tanks are more effective because they just are able to tank more because they just have more stats to tank with their health. Like they have more armor, more magic resist.
Yeah.
So let's say you constantly heal 200. The 200 heal is just way more effective on tanks.
Right. It's effectively multiplied by your resistances in terms of effective HP.
Yeah.
So, yep.
It's a bigger resource pool that you can just take advantage of. So I'm gonna have to ask you. I think I know what HBK is gonna say. So HBK, how do you think the matchup versus you and BBZ is gonna go?
I am kind of expecting a Game 5 series.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man, I should have signed up to cast that one instead.
I think it's I just have faith in our team that we can 3-0 them if we just come out swinging like effectively. Like if our reads are good, it's a 3-0. But like we can like change our read if it seems like we're a bit off. We can just change it up, and then I think it would probably take longer, but we can. It's expected to win in our books.
If we get going, I think we can 3-0, but
you have a feeling it's just that rhythm game is going to be a little bit harder in the beginning?
Yeah, for sure.
Because they just got a 5, like they started their playoff series. Well, we haven't started yet.
Yeah, that's true. So they like you guys having that off week. How do you guys feel about that? Like that's actually a good question. But before we get over to your opinions on the HBK BBZ game, Sivolock, just how do you guys feel coming off of this break week and now jumping right into a semifinals while these other teams have already had an opportunity to just kind of stay fresh and stay warmed up?
I mean, like YUBI was definitely beneficiary of the losers bracket of last season, and it's not double elim this time around, but like getting that extra practice is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, it's kind of this careful balance. Like, you don't want to burn out, so you want to be well rested, but it's also good to get extra practice. I think YUBI feels a lot better this season. We've been more actively practicing during the downtime, even if it's not like super serious fives practice, but we've been keeping our individual mechanics up, which I think is what matters. But yeah, it's like, you know, are you fresh versus like and rested versus are you warmed up and ready to go? And
Yeah, it's like, do you have a bit of a cold start kind of a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been like playing on our downtime too. Like, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Like, I would play right now if we could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're getting our ARAM practice in too, so like
nice.
you know, in team fights the calm's gonna be clean.
Well, you know,
Right.
it's like I
So
think
let's
we
go.
might be organizing a theoretical. There's talk, rumors going around of a 1v1 tournament coming up. So keep an eye out for that if that actually ends up happening. I know that we're working.
Start practicing my AP Nasus.
Your AP Nasus on the ARAM. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, okay. So then now cutting back to Sivolock then, what do you think this series is going to be like? Do you think it's going to be the clean sweep like the Spierce or Prolupul said, or do you think it's going to be more of the maybe best of 5 sort of series?
Yeah, honestly, I think HBK is a pretty strong advantage in my mind, mostly because I think both teams are really good, but I think H Block is slightly better. And both teams are also very consistent. So I think in that kind of situation, the better team just kind of has that advantage from consistency. However, I think the big X factor in my mind is that BBZ it's not necessarily the same roster that we saw in regular season. They swapped half their players. So I think that in my mind is the big unknown. Like, I think BBZ from playoffs, I think they're the underdog against H Block, but I don't really know about this new BBZ roster.
All right.
It's like nice because we see them, and then we see them in this series too.
Yeah,
so like it feels like
get some study time. Yeah,
we got a lot more study time. They don't really have anything to go off on like what we've been doing for the past 3 weeks as much. So yeah, we're excited and seeing how our prep work and their prep work goes out, because it's like I think they're the one team that like has the best bans against us.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can have our good bans against them too.
Well, it sounds like you guys expand your champion pool, makes it much harder for BBZ to really be able to take you down easily. So I'm looking forward to these matches. Like I said, I may miss the initial games, but I will definitely be catching those VODs. So I am looking forward to seeing what all of y'all do. And I just want to say I'm wishing you guys luck. Grand finals that are coming up as well. Whichever of you guys ends up making it, it's like I'm gonna be excited for that match. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Other than that, do you guys have anything you want to say before we close this off?
Speaking of VODs, you can always catch the broadcast live at twitch.tv/FoF Esports. But should you tragically miss one of the live games, you miss the opportunity to win it big on channel points, that is okay. You can make your way to the YouTube channel, Friend or Foe. Get all of those VODs. Leave a like.
Friend or Foe is actually
below.
where we have our content, like our videos and promos and
what
stuff.
is it? Oh, okay,
the VODs are
What's the
FFS
VOD channel?
VODs.
Oh, there's 2? Okay, that's why I keep getting confused. All right,
There are two. See, we got.
In that case, subscribe to both channels. Then you can be
Exactly.
updated on
You gotta
all
double up your
FOF
subscription.
content.
You've got your see, not a lot of subscribers over on our VOD review page. We gotta get more folks over here to watch this. So
I think it's secret
I'm a
viewers.
ghost viewer.
Yeah.
Ghost viewer.
Ghost viewers, exactly. But yeah, so FFS VODs, so it's friend or foe. FFS VODs is going to be our main channel there, and then FoF Esports is going to be our other channel. Let's see here. It pulls up on it. Nope, it actually doesn't, surprisingly. Weird. But those are the two main channels: FoF Esports and FFS VODs. Here. Looking at all my nerd subscriptions that we got going on here.
Oh, there it is. Friend or foe
Yeah,
on the
this
Yeah,
right
it's
here.
just friend or foe.
Oh,
It's
just-
FFS VODs and then friend or foe.
Friend or foe are our 2 channels that we've got going, and this is definitely where we've got like our crazy promo vids that Koshi puts a lot of work into, and oh my goodness, are they crazy? And keep your eyes out for something really special coming out on whenever the grand finals are released. Stuff is going to
so
happen.
I'm
Like
super
we
big.
excited to see ours.
Yeah.
the grand finals, the video is going to be amazing, but there's other stuff about
Other
it that's going to be really
stuff.
cool.
Okay.
So just
Are there gonna be like the photo the artwork?
maybe
I thought
there might be some artwork. There might be
noise.
might be some, Worlds has a theme song, so there might be a theme song.
Oh,
You know,
no way.
so who knows?
Oh my god.
Really, like, just you got to
Do they have
remember.
you singing?
No, I'm not on that. I'm not a singer. That's not where my voice goes. I do it in my free time, Koshi. If you ever want to give me a shot, but no, it's my shower head is a big fan.
We the share again feature.
Yeah.
This is mine.
All right. Well, so Sivolock, Spierce, Prolupul, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you dropping by, giving us some good insights, some good breakdowns. Remember, like Sivolock said, twitch.tv/FoF Esports. That's where you're going to catch the games live at 4:30 Pacific time. Everything basically happens there first, and then 24 hours later, we upload it to our YouTube page, FFS VODs for the games, FOF Friend or Foe for all of the extra content, like the videos and stuff that we put out. Keep an eye on both those pages because we'll be uploading some really cool content here in the future. Also, feel free to drop by our Discord. Link will be down in the description below. Want to do a special thank you and shout out to our sponsors, Logitech Gaming and Adobe Creative Cloud. We greatly appreciate your support.
Thank you.
On everything. Yes,
Thank
it's
you.
like it's great. Like having the replay powered by Adobe Creative Cloud is pretty awesome. So remember, tune in to all of that stuff. Sivolock guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and everyone else, remember, we will see you on the Rift.